Hey guys, I hope you have finished the study guide. You need to have answered every question on your own. I am looking for my pen so I can do this with you guys. Okay, I found it. All right, so on the first one, let me get my pen going here. All right, so on the first one, basically a radical and a exponent of 2 cancel each other out. So the answer would be 36. Number 2, what number times itself 3 times is 27? The answer is 3. All right, number 3. The city park has a square courtyard. So we have a square courtyard. The area is 324 feet squared. What is the distance around the park? So we're looking for perimeter. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what is the square root of 324. Which is 18. So each side of this park is 18 feet. All four. So we're looking for perimeter. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to multiply 18 times 4. And what is that? 18 times 4 is 72 feet. 72 feet. All right, what about number 4? What is the square root of 46? Well, the opposite of the square root of 46. So I know that the square root of 46 is got to be between the two perfect squares of 49 and 36. So this would be a -6. This is a -7. So the opposite of the square root of 46 would be between -6 and -7. And I'm going to put it a little bit closer to -7. So that would be it. The opposite of the square root of 46. And then the other one is the square root of 68. So 68's got to be between the two perfect squares of 64. And the next one would be what? 81. So that would be 8 and 9. And it's going to be closer to 8, right? 68 is closer to 64. It's going to be closer to 8. So we're going to put it about right there. Number 5, are these answers correct? So this one doesn't make any sense. You can't have an opposite of the square root of 5 outside the box, and then this actually has no solution. So A, just because of this right here, it cannot be correct. All right, so letter B says x squared equals 144. X can be both positive and -12. Is that true? Does 12 squared equal 144? And does -12 squared equal 144? And the answer, of course, is yes. That is true. That is true. All right, if you have a square root, if you have the square root of a negative number, there's no solution. So C is incorrect. And then D, if you're not sure, you can throw that in your calculator. The square root of 0 is 0. That is a real solution. So B and D are both correct. All right, number 6, what is the solution to x squared equals 256? So basically, all we're doing is looking for the square root of 256. And technically, there's 2 answers. It's both 16 and -16. Either of those numbers squared is positive 256. If they only want one answer on that one, just use the positive answer. Okie dokie. All right, number 7. So if you have a single digit that repeats over and over and over, that means the denominator is a 9. So in your calculator, if you want to divide 7 by 9, you get 0.7777. So if you have a 0.1 repeating, that would be 1/9. 1/9. If you have 0.2 repeating, that would be 2/9. So on and so forth. Okay, so remember that rule about a 9 in the denominator, all the way up to 8/9. Those single digits is 0.888887777, so on and so forth. All right, so number 8, what is 4 cubed? 4 cubed is 64. Number 9, what's 5 to the power of 0? Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Number 10, negative 2 to the 5th power. So anytime that negative sign is not in parentheses, the final answer is negative. So then we're just saying, what is 2 to the 5th power? And the answer is negative 32. Number 11, now negative 5, that whole thing is in parentheses, but you're multiplying and negative 5 together only 3 times, which is an odd number. So we are going to get a negative answer on this one. So we have a negative 125. Number 12, we're going to substitute 3 for a. So we're going to say 3 to the 3rd power minus 4 plus 7. So 3 cubed is 27. 27 minus 4 plus 7. The final answer would be what? I don't know. 27 minus 4 plus 7 is 30. 30. All righty. Let's scoot this down a little bit, guys. Or up, I should say. All right, number 13, we're using greater than, less than, or equal to. So you got to remember those exponent rules. If you have a power raised to a power, you multiply. So this is 5 to the 6th power. And this one, we have 5 to the 1st times 5 to the 3rd. So we're going to add those exponents. So this is 5 to the 4th. So the first number is greater than the second number. Number 14, the U.S. has a total of this many acres of land. What is this in standard form? So basically we're moving, this is a big old number, right? Big number because this is a positive 7. So we're moving our decimal 7 places to the right. So we'd move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 12,916,000 acres of land. Number 8 or 15, excuse me, the weight of one atomic mass unit is 1.66 times 10 to the negative 27th. Write this in standard form. So that is a very small number. So we would move our decimal, this time very tiny number, which means we have to have lots of zeros in front of this. In fact, you guys, we'd have 26 zeros. I'm not counting 26 zeros, but just remember, there would be 26 zeros, and then we'd have 166. Okay? So anyway, that's not a great answer, but I think if you're listening to me, you get it. All right, the next one, number 16. The galaxy, this thing, is 100 million light years away from Earth. So first of all, before we write that in scientific notation, I'm going to write it in standard form. So 100 million. All right, so that is 100 million. Do you agree? So now we're going to write that in scientific notation. So we can have a 1 non-digit number in the front. So you could either write 1 times 10 or you just 1.0. It doesn't matter. All right, so if our decimal is going from here up to here, we're going to count that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That exponent is an 8. 1 times 10 to the 8th is 100 million. All right, number 17, to travel to California, a person needs a car to travel a total of 2.4 times 10 to the 3rd. If we travel at 3 times or miles per day, how long? So basically, guys, we are dividing. We're dividing the distance by our speed. Distance by our speed. All right, so if you have the right calculator, put it in scientific notation mode. If not, you have to divide those first two numbers. 2.4 divided by 3 is 7.2. And the exponent rule for dividing two numbers with the same base that have the same exponent, if you're dividing two numbers with the same base, what do you do with the exponents? You subtract them. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So the answer is, how long will it take them to get there? 7.2 times 10 to the first days, I guess. Yeah, days. So basically, is that right? Yeah, it's just 72 days. Oh, because we're not going many miles a day. I'm double checking my answer because that doesn't seem reasonable. Divided by 3. Yeah, what did I do? Oh, I multiplied. Oh my goodness. I'm like, that can't be right. Okay. So anyway, all right, so we had 2.4 times 10 to the third divided by 3 times 10 to the second is 0.8 times 10 to the first. Well, remember, this isn't in scientific notation mode, so we're actually going to move our decimal to the right. So we'll have 8 times, and remember Lars, left add, right subtract. So we're going to subtract 1 from 1, so it would be 10 to the 0 power. So basically, the answer is 8 days. That's much more reasonable. But anyway, that's scientific notation. Number 18, we're going to multiply. -6 times -6 times -6 is -216. And then c times c times c is c to the third. All right, the next one, we're going to distribute that 5 to both of those variables. So j to the 5th times k to the 5th. The next one, we're going to subtract those exponents. D to the 4th divided by D to the 1st is D to the 3rd. All right, on number 21, we're distributing. So -5 times -4 is 20. -5 times 6s is -30s minus 1s equals 82. We're going to combine like terms. So -30s minus 1s is -31s equals 82. And then we're going to subtract 20 from both sides. We're going to subtract 20 from both sides. So then we would have -31s. I don't like s's. They look like 5s. Equals 60. And then we're going to divide both sides by -31, -31. So S is, you can either leave it in -60 over 31, or you could simplify 60 divided by 31 is negative, which is about -1.94. I'm estimating. I'm rounding it. All right, so S has one solution. So hopefully I got that right. You guys help me out. Y'all check these with me, okay? If I miss something, please let me know. Kindly, but let me know, please. All right, number 22. 22. All right, so we can distribute the 1/3. So 1/3 of 3 is 1. And 1/3 of -9 is 3. So 1x minus 3. Half of 2x is 1x. And half of -6 is -3. And then when we distribute those fractions, of course, you can use your calculator to help you do that if you want to. Look what we have here. We have the same exact expression on both sides of the equal sign, which means we have an infinite number of solutions. Infinite number of solutions. Infinite. So infinitely many solutions. We can just say that to save time. All right, look at 23. Let's distribute. We're going to do the same on the other side. So 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times -9 is -36. And then we have 6 times 2x is 12x plus 6 times 6 is 36. So here we have, they're almost the same, guys, but one says 12x minus 36 and one says plus. So if we cancel out our 12x's, does negative 36 equal 36? No, no solution. No solution. All righty, moving on. Number 24. How many solutions does the square root of 25 have? Well, really, it has two. It has two, both 5 and negative 5. And the question why is because 5 squared is 25 and negative 5 squared is positive 25. That's why the answer is 2. 2. How many solutions does the cubed root of negative 8 have? The answer is 1. Only 1. Why? Because only negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals negative 8. There's no other answer times itself 3 times equals negative 8. So this one literally has 2 solutions. This one literally has 1 solution. All righty. Hope that makes sense. Last page, guys. Last page. I hope you're getting them all right. I hope I'm getting them all right. All right, so let's see what would happen here. It says we got to figure out where the mistake is made. So if we distribute, I would have 15x plus 21 minus 6 equals 30. So the first line looks good. And then we're going to combine like terms. So we would have 21 minus 6 is plus 15. Equals 30. So the second line looks good. All right, so now what do? We would get rid of 15 from both sides. So the next line should say something like 15x is equal to 30 minus 15 is 15. Oh no, what did they do? They added. This is not right. This is the mistake. The final answer should be 1, not 15. All right, look at number 26. What is this thing here? This symbol is pi. That's irrational. And why is because it's non-terminating, non-terminating, non-repeating, non-terminating. I don't know why my pen is so difficult sometimes. So 2 things. It's non-terminating and non-repeating. Non-repeating. Repeating. All right, 30 is rational. Why? It's a whole number. All right, I'm going to stop putting the y. I'm just going to say it. What about this one? This is irrational y. I would write it's a non-perfect square. It's the square root of a non-perfect square. All right, the next one is rational because it's a repeating. It is repeating. If you have a repeating decimal, that is rational. Okay? My dumb pen. What about the next one? 0.6489 ... That is irrational because it's non-terminating and non-repeating. And the last one is rational because it's a fraction. It's a fraction. Okie dokie. Number 27 and 28 are our last ones. All right, so 27, we had a problem like this, a similar problem earlier. All right, so it says to simplify. So 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 2nd, we're going to add those exponents. So we get 5 to the 6th. 5 to the 4th raised to the 2nd power, we're going to multiply those exponents. So we have 5 to the 8th. So does that mean which one is bigger? This one's bigger. So the way it's written, we would have to say this first number is less than the second number value. All right, which of these is correct? So basically, I'm just looking. This one, I know for sure right now, this one can't be right because 3 times 4 is 12. They added. So I assume the rest of it is right. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope you got all those right. If you did, you're going to do great on your test Monday. So make sure you're ready for that test on Monday. We'll do it during our Zoom time. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.